So I know that Count dropped out of the run um, for personal reasons.
What I was hoping to platform on was fair taxes, scaled to wealth, and taxes would go to bettering the whole community, be it
Okay.
funding public builds. Like I don't want to presume to that I know what's best for everyone. I would want people to weigh in on what kind of services they want and like what are fair taxes for the different like it's got to be like a group effort, right? I know Natalie's kind of running to do nothing.
What is your plan once you become governor? In general.
Well, it's just to like not have any taxes, not to really have the government interfere in anything. It'll be kind of like the government doesn't exist, essentially, if I win. Because I just don't want the government to interfere in people's lives, you know? Lesser
Okay.
interference means more freedom. So I'm just giving people the most freedom, essentially.
Okay.
I know. I mean, my answers are pretty simple. It's like, would you do this? No, because the government wouldn't do things.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it's not technically anarchy. That's all I've got to say.
what are your opinions on the other running members? We have Cool 2, we have Renee, I believe Count's back in it now. We have Noble too.
A little worried on Renee and Noble, but Natalie and Count, I think I'm fine with.
I mean, I did get some comments on my campaign video calling it like anarchy or something, but like, you know, that's a strong word. It's just really, really strong freedom.
Campaign managers or anything like that working with you, or are you just rolling solo?
I'm just rolling solo, yeah. I do have a campaign ad out there if people want to see that, but that's about it for my campaign.
Okay. So if you had to vote for somebody other than yourself, who do you think you would?
I'd probably vote for Natalie.
Okay.
I will make sure the government does nothing if I win.
I don't know Val's platform. I don't know Renee's. I think he's running now.
So we gotta get to the bottom of this. What will the fourth guy do? What does he want to do?
I guess make Spawn look a little bit more organized. Get more shop opportunities out there. And have more fun.
What is your opinion on taxes? Are you for them, against them?
I am against them.
Okay. So you don't want to impose any taxes?
No taxes.
All right. Even if it could be beneficial?
I think that you can earn enough diamonds off of, like, everybody deserves to have their own amount of diamonds. I don't feel like one group should have a lot of diamonds.
Okay. All right. So how are you going to pay for all of the cleaning up of Spawn and stuff like that?
We will hold fundraisers.
Ooh, I kind of like that. What will you be fundraising for? Or like, what will you be,
Helping improve the roads, and just like some fundraisers to like build, like the street lamps and some sidewalks and beautify the Spawn Island.
Okay. Will you be selling cookies? Or is it going to be like gift wrap, like wrapping paper?
The cookies sound like a great idea.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll have cookies, cakes.
Ooh.
All the sweets.
Pumpkin pies?
Oh yes, pumpkin pies.
Oh, okay.
I know that Val is running.
But I hear you know Some secret person.
Secret,
yes.
Some sort of alias.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Yep. Might not.
alias. What?
He's got bat ears and
Oh, interesting.
Yep. I might have
maybe get
seen.
some sort of endorsement.
Yes, I do think the name is Batmaid has
Mm.
endorsed me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Maybe it was Batmaid who made those posters.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
I guess.
Talking about Batmaid, I've heard some rumors about, there's been a lot of, explosions happening on the server recently. And some people think it might be related to Batmaid. Would you know anything about that?
I would not.
Who do you think, like, because it's a lot of people were saying it's either Batmaid or maybe something that are related to Noble. I don't know. Just, hypothetically.
I have a feeling that Noble has something to do with these explosions.
Okay.
He just seems like that type of a person.
So let me ask you, if you were to become governor, what would you do to the person that's gonna, who's been doing all these explosions?
I would have a proper court case filed against them, and we would do the proper steps in order to get them locked up and to keep the spawn safe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if we're going to be doing like an official debate at some point? Because I keep on hearing rumors about it, but no one's like actually set one up yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to still talk to Mike. I was hoping he might be on. Because I wanted to kind of get his opinion since he's been kind of, detective looking into some stuff. But no one has officially done anything. I wouldn't be opposed to trying to handle that. Maybe putting up a date, since I did the trivia night and I hosted that prior. But I was going to talk to Mike first and see what he's doing.
So I guess, like, how is the election going to happen? Do you know that yet?
Not currently. I know there's rumors of someone, I don't know who might, the idea of trying to put together a debate so that more people can, fully, let everyone know what they're running for. I was debating on maybe trying to pick that up since I've been interviewing a lot of people. But that seems like a pretty big job for one person. And also, like, one person could definitely, be a bit biased towards one candidate versus the other, right?
Right. So there'd probably have to be a debate, like you said. Would it be similar to the questions you've already asked people?
Yeah. I mean, just general, like, hey, what are you running for? What's your opinion on taxes? What's your opinion on crime? Stuff like that,
Okay. So I guess, do you know when that's gonna happen?
I haven't planned anything yet, any specific dates. I was thinking about maybe trying to find some people who might be interested. I don't know if you would, and also trying to, host it. It's kind of hard because a lot of the people on the server are running in it, so I also feel it'd be a conflict of interest if they were to also help host it, right?
Yeah, I know that Niamo and Crake aren't running. Trying to think. Yeah, majority of people are running though.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden, I think, would have a conflict of interest because he's the, I guess the campaign manager for Renee.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not a lot of people that are unbiased, right?
Right.
I mean, as a detective, I assume you'd be pretty unbiased.
I mean, I did just tell you who I'd vote for too, so
Yeah, I mean, but
that can change.
hmm
Yeah, I've been trying to address these explosions that have been happening recently. I've been asking to some people some questions, and I guess you've also been asking people some questions.
yeah, I've been mainly just talking about the election, kind of getting to see what people want in candidates, to try and understand what the candidates are running for and whatnot. Um, so I was just wanting to get your opinion on it as someone who's kind of investigating a bunch of the mishaps and whatnot of the server. Um, so let me ask you: Do you know like who's running?
I have been having confide a little personal information with you. I have been having nightmares. Specifically, well, I mean, there's a few things. There's this person. Maybe it was somebody passing through because it hasn't happened again, but things were getting exploded. Right? I lost a house and Yama lost a shop. So that still kind of haunts me. That was one big thing I wanted to tackle as well. I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah, what would you need like from the government that would like help you with your job of like trying to figure out who's doing all these crimes or stuff like that?
I think TNT should be regulated.
Ooh, that's a new idea. No one's brought that up yet. How so do you think? Do you think like the gunpowder, sand?
Well, it's really hard to do sand, but maybe more restrictions on gunpowder.
Mm. Interesting. Yeah, I mean right now the sale of gunpowder is unregulated. So
Yeah, it could be anyone.
as a member of the server, like what are you looking for the governor to do? Would you prefer like a more hands-on, role of the government, or would you prefer more of like a laid back, not really doing much role?
So yeah, my motivation lies with who's gonna clean up the streets. There's been an awful lot amount of like explosions, like I mentioned, and I guess you'd probably have to have taxes to be able to fund stuff like that. So I guess I'm pro taxes.
Okay. So you'd want taxes to go towards, like cleaning up Spawn Island and like that kind of stuff. What's your opinion on the other candidates? We have Renee, we have Val, we have Count, we have Noble.
Well, last I heard, Count wasn't in the race anymore. Um,
Okay.
and I think Noble isn't really in the race. He's just sort of saying he's already the ruler of Spawn Island, if I'm understanding things correctly. So I don't even know if he's technically running. And then Val, he's just sort of there, as far as I know. I don't even know if he has a campaign, really. But as far as Renee, who's the only other one that I can tell is like legitimately running against me, I feel like he's running on a platform of far too much government like oversight into people's lives. He wants to control how Spawn Island looks, he wants to control how Spawn Island runs, and he's probably going to be making people pay lots and lots of taxes. And like no one wants any of that. People want to be able to do what they want and not have the government looking over them all the time.
What will be the first thing you do day one if you were elected?
Let me think about that for 1 second. Because there are numerous tasks that needs to be done on Spawn Island. I think that instead of trying to enforce things as fast as possible, I would probably do stuff like I would probably do something like setting up donation chests and making clear for people that, oh, we are going to work on this project. Here are some of the stuff that we need. People who have these resources are willing to donate. You might also come and ask different people for the resources and if they're willing to donate. But since that the Nether Hub is quite a high priority, since right now it's, well, dangerous and messy and very inconvenient to use, I think that would be a high priority to get started with getting the resources for that as fast as possible.
Got it. Alrighty. What is your opinion on the inevitability of Spawn Island running out of space?
I do currently think it might be a bit of a problem. I still think there's a fair ways to go, but of course new shops are constantly popping up and stuff like that. But I think that we can always expand in numerous different ways, and there are some points that people haven't utilized yet. For example, there is Eggtown that Jaden and Niamo recently opened up. That's not really something that many people have utilized yet. I know you have a Jolga shop there, and I know that Niamo has his Redstone shop there. The mountain is also open up for business, so people can build their shops in there, or buildings in there. And if we need to expand, we can always make smaller islands, just like the Christmas island that Jaden built. We could always expand. It's always a possibility to expand like upwards. And right now we have a lot of like buildings here, both this building we're in currently and also Roguelite shop and stuff like that. That is numerous stories tall, but only really have a purpose on the lower floor, like the ground floor. That's also a opportunity if it really comes to that. But I think we should focus on utilizing the space that we currently have and maximizing the use cases.
Okay. Last topic I wanted to bring up then is, for, let's say, we've been doing rounds of interviews on numerous people trying to join the server, but we also have some people that have taken breaks for whatever reason or haven't really been able to play a lot, and for lack of a better term are kind of still behind. Do you have any plans to try and bring them up to speed, kind of, would you say? And if so, like, how would you kind of handle that?
Yeah, I think that I think that it's something where I feel a lot of the members on the server generally are quite generous. I know, for instance, that, not to brag or anything, but I do have some amount of wealth, so I wouldn't mind personally just saying, hey, welcome back. If you want some stuff to get on track, I can help you gather some stuff. If you want to do it by yourself, that's also fine. If there's anything I can help with, please tell me. And then in regards to some of the stuff for the taxes that we talked about, like, I know that Mystery is really interested in building his big bridge, so that's something where we could say, okay, we are gonna get the resources for that. You can just focus on building the bridge.
Interesting. I guess since I have Niamo here too, I haven't asked you that question either. Who are you looking at for governor?
I'm looking at you.
Me?
I mean, I'm looking in your direction.
Oh, gotcha. But as for like voting, like who's a candidate that kind of piqued your interest?
I think Renee's got good clue of what he wants to do on this island.
So getting back on topic, what kind of policies are you wanting to run for? Like what will you do for the people of the server?
The thing is to like take care of Spawn Island and make sure that everything is well kept and everything is structured, and like just generally clean it up and make it so as has been for a long time by now. And I know that some of the other people who are running have similar strategies, and I know that that's what Count wants. He wants to use the taxes as like tools to better the Spawn Island. But the way my strategy goes is that I would rather being paid in diamond, which is, in all fairness, quite useless if you think about it. And it's not everything that is everything that has a shop right now, there's like a lot of material that doesn't have shops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my strategy is that instead, instead of paying a set level of taxes, people would instead have to, let's say, because like an example of this could be that me and Johnny, we are in charge of doing the Nether Hub, and let's say that we need like 10 stacks of crying obsidian, but neither of us has a bartering farm. Well, then someone like Niamo or Count would have a bartering farm, could donate that crying obsidian, and then that would be part of their tax would be that. And then let's say someone like Jaden who has a wool farm, he could donate some wool. You who have a kelp farm and a mangrove farm could donate some of that if that is needed. So instead of having to artificially pay diamonds, which in most cases can't really be used for so much, people are then instead of helping directly with contributing the things that are needed. And in cases where people don't have farms, they can instead contribute by doing some of the building or some of the cleaning, like spawn-proofing, or doing lighting other than torches, or continue some of the roads, some of that stuff like that.
Okay. So you're kind of more wanting people to, instead of it just being like a monetary tax, it's more of like an involvement tax. So you have to either get materials or help build or clean up or whatnot. So
Exactly.
how do you define that to be? Like normally with like taxes, right, you'd have different tax brackets, so some people might owe more, some people might owe less. How do you keep this fair though? Because like you know, I'll use like my wood farm as an example. Like I have to manually be there to run it versus like the sheep farm, which just wool just comes out and there's like no effort. Like how do you decide what's going to be a fair amount of taxes then at that point?
Yeah, I also think it kind of depends on whatever project we're working on. And one of my concerns is also that this shouldn't be a burden to any of the members, that it should be something that is kind of reasonable. But also I think that it's also fair that since some people are more active on the server than others, and they are probably more likely to have a lot of farms and stuff like that, so it would make sense that those who have a lot of farms would contribute both a larger amount of materials, but also a more variety, a larger variety of fields.
Like I said with Renee, it's tricky because of the bias, but I do think he's revealed a lot of his character. He's capricious. He kind of just, well, straight up told me he only cares about profit. Like when I was telling him, he burned the diamond that he gave me, that he proposed to me with. I said like that was just a little bit cruel, a little bit too far. He didn't care. So like, yes, this affects me directly, but I also think it reflects on his interpersonal skills, right?
Yeah. Like if he's willing to do that to, you know, his close friends, what is he going to do to like the server as a whole, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to run, I guess?
Well, as you know, I called dibs here. And, you know, I would like to remain the dibs. Since I called dibs, you know, I'm allowing you guys to live here and do all your shops and whatnot, you know? So that's what I'm doing for you guys.
I think Jordan's taxes are exorbitant, extortionist. And what's he going to do with it?
You mentioned taxes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with these taxes?
You know, just sit there, look at them. They look nice in my wallet.
Is the taxes just going to be diamonds, or are you wanting like different forms of payment?
I think diamonds is good. You know, you're right. Maybe I should go to Nether right now. People are getting a bit too wealthy.
Have you talked to like Renee or like Count or Val or Cool2 to see any of see like what they're running on? Like what kind of platforms they're going for?
No, of course I wouldn't have to, because they're not going to be elected for anything.
I think Noble skipped the running process. I think people are running to overthrow him, basically.
Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are really backing Renee right now. Renee has a lot of push.
I'm sorry, did Renee call dibs?
Yeah, but no one called dibs on being governor. I mean, you called dibs on the land, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I owned everything on this land.
Yeah, so I mean, that doesn't give you governor though.
If I had to vote for someone, it might be an unpopular opinion. I think I'd vote for Jordan.
I'd like to call myself the dictator here, so I think I have command of everything here.
The dictator?
Is something wrong with that?
Oh, interesting. Why what draws you to, what he's running for?
Well, he's pro taxes. I also haven't seen anything so far to lead me to believe that he's not fit for office.
Okay.
You better not be laughing at that.
Sorry, dictator. Come on, man.
Got a problem with how I run things here? I called dibs, and that's how it's going to remain.
But what if not everybody agrees with you? Let's say me, for example.
What are you going to do about it?
Let's say I just have some dirt on you.
Like what?
Let's say footage of you blowing up Count's base. What are you going
That's
to do
not
then?
gonna blow up. Who told you I blew up Count's base? There's no footage out there.
So it is true. I have evidence. I just wanted to confirm that it was you. I was pretty already, suspicious, but
And this evidence, what evidence do you have? Where is even this evidence?
I have it, I have it in my house out there. It's, I have it, secretly stashed away.
So that's how it is.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, like, you're running for president, but what oh my gosh.
What evidence?
What happened? My house. That's my prismarine.